Ever heard of double jeopardy? You know, that thing that prevents you from being prosecuted for the same thing? We should start applying that in our relationships. If you want to know what I'm talking about, stick around and let's talk love. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Love Inspiry Space on the Internet. I'm your girl Angie, the founder of Love Inspiry, where our mission is to build more powerful, transparent, and durable relationships. And we do that by helping couples learn to grow together so that they can have a more fulfilled relationship. Bringing up old things in your relationship is an absolute no-no. For starters, it doesn't change a dang on thing and it keeps you stuck in the past. What happened happened. You can't change it. This is not Back to the Future where we can go back in time and fix it. What is, and we have to learn how to deal with that. When you stay stuck in the past as a couple, you miss new opportunities to grow and develop. You miss new opportunities to learn from each other. And I mean truly learn from each other. The second reason this is a no-no is because it just makes you more angry. I think about as a married woman, sometimes I'm sitting and I'm listening to my Mary J. Lately it's been Summer Walker, and all of a sudden I start getting angry over nothing. I start making things up in my head. I start thinking things because the music has done gotten my soul and started making me feel away. And this is what happens when you bring up old things in your relationship. It just makes you more frustrated. You start thinking of things, you start making up things, you start doing all the things that's not necessary and hyping yourself up. You're making yourself more angry. And another thing that I want to say with this is a lot of the times when we go looking for something, we find it, even the smallest thing, because we have put in our head that there is something out there and I'm going to go find it, whether it's small or big. Don't do that. Now that we talked about a couple of reasons that bringing up old things in your relationship is a no-no, I want to talk about why we do it. The number one reason why we honestly do it is we have nothing better to say. We're trying to low blow. We're trying to hit them where it hurts. One thing that I want to say with this is your partner is not your enemy, or at least they shouldn't be. Your partner is your teammate. And when you're on a team, you want to see your teammate win so that you win as well. Remember that nobody wins when you guys are feuding as a couple. You guys are not enemies. You are here to work together as a team, like I said, and make your relationship work. And you can't do that if you're constantly throwing darts at one another. So stop trying to win the argument and move on. The second reason why people bring up old things in their relationship is because they didn't deal with their issues head on. They sat and let things fester. As a person in a relationship, you have a right to bring up any concerns or things that are bothering you. And as a partner that is receiving that information, you have an obligation to take in that feedback and make the necessary changes.
Sorry, I'm sorry. But I mean every word. I mean every word.
Not facing your issues head on leads to frustration. It leads to unresolved issues. It leads to bad emotions. It leads to relationship stress, etc., etc. And we don't want any of that. The third reason why people bring up past mistakes in their relationship is because they see no changed behavior within this person. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Oftentimes, past mistakes are triggered by present mishaps. So for example, I may have had trust issues in the past. If you lied to me today, I'm going to bring it up because now I'm triggered by it and I don't want to go through what I went through before. It happens all the time. I want to let you know that you don't have to tolerate or accept what is hurting you.
Period.
If this person is continuously making the same mistakes, the same errors over and over again, you have a right to get out of that relationship. You don't have to tolerate, again, like I said, what is hurting you. A good tip that I want to leave with you guys so you can learn how to combat this is, as a couple, come up with a time frame, a limit in which you don't talk about certain things. For example, it's 2022. We decide as a couple 3 years is the limit. We expect not to talk about anything that has hurt us in the past after 3 years. So for example, it's 2022. Anything prior to 2019, we're not going to discuss because it's not relevant to what's happening in our relationship right now. Now, anything from 2019 to 2022 that has not been resolved, we are going to work on resolving that, because sometimes it could take a few years to get people out of a certain pattern. Now, I want to say it doesn't have to be 3 years. You can make your time frame as a couple 5 years. They say the body changes every 7 years, so you can make it every 7 years. Choose that together, set that expectation, and don't cross that boundary. This particular tip that I'm sharing is good because it will help you stay focused on what's relevant right now. Things that are present and happening in your relationship right now. If you stay with somebody and had a problem 7 years ago and you never addressed it, ultimately that's your problem. That's something that you have to figure out on their own. You can't set somebody up and let them expect this certain behavior, and then all of a sudden 7 years later, when you're tired of it, flip the script and say, hey, get on board or you're going to get left behind. No, you have to get people accustomed to this new expectation, and that's going to take time and discipline to do that. It's going to take a little bit of grace and patience because they will make a mistake. That's why I said don't let your issues fester. Address them head on right when they're happening. The number 2 reason why this will help you, doing this little tip that I shared, is it will help you stay within your maturity time frame. So for example, I got with my husband when I was 15 years old. Obviously, I am not going to respond to certain things as a 30-something-year-old woman as I did when I was 15 years old. Ultimately, what I'm saying is I'm not going to bring up stuff from when I was 15 now, because our maturity levels are completely different, and I don't want to go back to that place where we were responding immaturely. All right, so guys, remember to set yourself up a time frame, set that expectation, and as a couple, be disciplined enough not to cross that boundary. It's only going to help your relationship in the long term. So again, today we talked about how bringing up old stuff harms your relationship. We talked about why people do it, and I gave you a good tip on what to do going forward in 2022 to help you stop bringing up stuff that does not matter. All right, guys, I'll see you all next week as we talk about the rules for apologizing to your partner. Oh yeah, that's going to be a good one. I'll see you all in the next one.